إن في خلق السماوات والأرض واختلاف الليل والنهار لآيات لأولي الألباب.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuhu. May the peace and blessings of Allah be upon you. Viewers, we welcome you to yet another beautiful edition of Islam and Science, a program where we look at the scientific and Islamic background of a lot of things or happenings in this world. Today we're going to focus our discussion on the production of milk. And with me to do the discussion, we have Dr. Kobina Ajapon Osman and Abdul Ghafoor Saeed, a missionary. Gentlemen, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
And I would like to thank you so much for finding the time to come and do the discussion with us. Now, Doctor, you will bear with me that milk is a very important resource in this world. And so I would like to ask you, what is the scientific background with regards to the production of milk?
A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Yes, like you rightly said, milk is really important in not just only human feeding, but animals in general. As we know, all mammals are a class of animals, which include us as human beings, produce milk because they need that for the feeding of their young ones. And milk production occurs in the breast, as we know, and there are certain structures in the breast called breast tissues, and that is where the milk is produced. When the animal is not pregnant, these breast tissues are sort of dormant. They are there, they are not doing much. But once the animal gets pregnant, then the breast tissues start to replicate, or I should say they start to enlarge in all preparation for production of milk. And throughout the pregnancy, this process goes on through the effect of what we call hormones. Hormones are special chemicals that are released from the body, and this goes to stimulate these breast tissues. Then it helps in the production in the production of the milk. The milk that comes out in all animals are from the nutrients that the animal gets. So whatever the animal is eating, some of it, the chemicals that the animal eats from the environment, gets to form the milk. Yes. So in human beings, it's the same way. That when we get pregnant, when the woman gets pregnant, then the milk starts to form. And it's interesting that whatever the woman eats is exactly what is translated into the milk, to the extent that we know that for people who are strict vegetarians or vegans, because they don't eat animal products, there's a special kind of vitamin a special vitamin called vitamin B12, which is only found in animal products. That particular vitamin is missing in the breast milk of people who are strict vegans, just because they don't eat meat. So milk production is an intricate process, but what we know is that it's formed from what the mother eats. So it's very important that the mother eats healthy, so that they can produce the right kind of milk for the baby. In terms of human milk, the difference between human milk and animal milk, the process is kind of similar, but the content, the end product, is very different, in the sense that even though all of it have the necessary nutrient for the growth of the young one, the human one has some important proteins that you will not find in animal.
Okay.
The ratio of the nutrients too are different. So the ratio of protein to fats is slightly different
Okay.
from we human beings to other animals.
Okay.
Okay, and even things like minerals and vitamins. There are some minerals are in different forms.
Okay.
So an example I can give is iron. The iron that you find in, let's say, cow's milk is different from the form of iron that you find in human milk.
Okay.
Yes, but they are all milk.
Okay.
Yes, and this has been designed so that the human being can absorb the human milk better.
Okay.
And the cow's milk has been designed so that it can better be absorbed in the cow.
Okay.
So these are the differences.
That's very interesting. But Dr.
yeah.
tells me that though you just enumerated a number of differences between the human milk and then that of the milk of the animal, you realize that quite often on notes, the human milk is only useful when the child is still an infant. And when such a child grows and gets to a particular stage, now we tend to focus so much on the milk of the animals.
Yes, yeah, that's a very interesting thing. You know, human beings, when we are born in a certain way, and we develop.
Okay.
When you are born in the infancy period, your intestine, which absorb the food, can only absorb certain types of food.
Okay.
Okay. Yes. So it has been designed such a way, Allah has made it such a way that the human milk is easily absorbable.
Okay.
By the infant. When you give an infant a cow's milk, because it cannot be easily be absorbed,
Okay.
they'll start to have problems.
Okay.
So that is why in the beginning you cannot give cow's milk to an infant, but you have to give the human milk. And as they grow, when their digestive system becomes a little stronger, where they can absorb they can digest and absorb other forms of milk better. Okay. That's where we tend to give them other forms of milk. And at that time too, they start to eat other foods. Okay. So even the nutrient that is lacking in the non-human milk, they can get it from other food. Okay. But when a 1-month-old who can only rely on the mother's milk can only get all the nutrients from that. So it's important that it comes in the form that it can be absorbed easily by the body.
Now, before I get to Murabi's Ghafoor Sahib, let me just ask you my last question. Is it possible, or is it a case that a nursing mother or a pregnant woman who takes sugary substances or spicy foods can produce milk that are of that nature?
Yes, that's an interesting question. Okay. So again, what you eat makes up the breast. Right. So it's known that when you eat certain kinds of food in excess, those goes into the milk in excess as well. Okay. So if you're a nursing mother and all that you eat is sugary stuff, you'll be depriving the child of having other nutrients. Okay. That's why you, the mother, you have to eat a balanced diet, so that the food that the milk that the baby will get will also be balanced. Okay. So yes, that is how it's designed. That you get the mother's milk comes from what they eat. So the more they eat more varied food, the more varied the milk is. Even to the extent that science have shown that even the taste of the milk is different based on what you eat. Okay. Yes. Okay. Even though babies don't have taste buds to really appreciate the different tastes. Okay. But it's known that the taste and everything changes with what the mother eats. Okay.
Thank you very much for these wonderful elaborations. Abdul Ghafoor Sahib, I would like to find out from you. Dr. had just mentioned was a very beautiful formation as far as milk is concerned. What is the Islamic point of view regarding the production of milk? I mean, does that have any similarity with what Doctor just said?
A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. I'm very grateful for the question and grateful for you having me in this program. Before I answer the question you asked, I would like to draw the attention of our viewers to this all-important information, which is that people should understand that Islam and science are not on the wrestling box.
Okay.
These are things, two entities that one depends on the other to grow. Science needs Islam for its findings.
Okay.
And science always builds its answers from what Islam provides as the beginning. There is no way that Islam or science are at loggerheads with each other in trying to give mankind benefits. No.
Okay.
Science builds upon what Islam provides in order to save lives and also to save the creation as well.
Okay.
So that's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in chapter 16 verse 66 of the Holy Quran. That's
Okay.
Surah Nahl.
Okay.
Allah says, وَإِنَّ لَكُمْ فِي الْأَنْعَامِ لَإِبْرَةً نُسْقِيكُم مِّمَّا فِي بُطُونِهِ مِن بَيْنِ فَرْثٍ وَدَمٍّ لَبَنًا خَالِصًا سَائِغًا لِلشَّارِبِينَ.
Okay.
The translation of this beautiful verse goes as follows. And surely in the cattle too, there is a lesson for you. We give you to drink of what is in their bellies,
Okay.
from between the feces and the blood. Milk pure and pleasant for those who drink it.
Okay.
You see, what I just said at the beginning is exactly what Allah says in the Holy Quran here.
Right.
He said it's a lesson for you. And we all know what lessons are for.
That's true.
Lessons are given to us for studies. This verse of the Holy Quran should not be misunderstood in any way.
Okay.
It is not describing the organs, because for mentioning of feces, bellies, people might think that the verse is particularly discussing about the organs that produce milk.
Okay.
No. It is the process that the verse seeks to address. The process of milk formation in animals, be it human beings, first-class animals, or the animals in general.
Okay.
But that is what the process should be. And that is what scientists will say. Just as we have all listened to Doctor, he just spoke exactly what Allah has said here.
Okay.
And that is what we should understand, that they said it's pure and pleasant for those who drink it. You can best attest to it, because if you have ever taken fresh milk before, you'll be able to tell this. Because for now, you wouldn't be taking milk from your mothers anymore, because we are grown up.
That's
But the
true.
fresh milk we take from the cow, buffaloes, and the rest, we all see how pleasant it is to
And,
those
and,
of us
and
who...
indeed, it is very pure. Yes.
That's something that we should all understand. So in any way, in no way should someone find try to find a hole, a loophole,
Okay.
or create an imaginary hole in the verse that I've just recited to find fault with the Quran. That even the Quran says that the milk is from this, but it is not that. We are
Okay.
talking about the process of the formation of milk and not the organs in specific. So that is what we should focus our minds on.
Okay.
And to add to this, what the Prophet Muhammad Rasulullah says, that is the prophet, the founder of Islam. He says that is also reported by Imam Tirmizi.
Okay.
He said, there is nothing that suffices as food and drink except milk. There is nothing that suffices as food and drink except milk.
Okay.
So milk has food in it and it has drink in it.
Okay.
And this is not something for anybody to debate with me today, because that is what we are all being taught by the World Health Organization. That is what they are teaching us.
Right.
We have been told that our newborn babies should not be fed neither should they be given drink, but they should be given what? Exclusive breastfeeding. So that goes to buttress what our prophet said 1,400 years ago, who was not a scientist.
Who was an illiterate.
Yes, he didn't go to school. That's the miraculous part of it.
Right.
And that is also to affirm that indeed he was a prophet from God, because God is the knower of the unseen.
That's true.
Because he didn't know that this thing will be something that health people will take as a World Cup today. But it's happening.
That's true.
Yes, so that is to tell us that the religion of Islam is not in loggerheads with science, but these are two pairs that needs one another for the betterment of mankind.
The program is getting very interesting. Ravi Gafur, sir, we thank you so much for this beautiful elaboration that you just did. Now, coming back to you, doctor, I would like you to indicate to us the nutritional and medicinal benefits of taking milk. And I would be very happy if you could, make a lot of emphasis on breastfeeding.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. The nutritional and medicinal benefit of milk or breast milk, to be specific, like you said, is numerous. I mean, if we had to talk about the benefits of breast milk, probably to take the whole program, we don't have enough time for that. So, breast milk has benefit to the child and to the mother. Okay. First, we should know that it is the perfect nutrition for humans. And just like Murabi Sahib just said a while ago, that according to the hadith, that it is, there's nothing that suffices as food and drink to the human except milk. And it's true, because now we know through a lot of research that the breast milk has the perfect balance of nutrition for humans. And like I said earlier, every animal have their own ratio of the nutrients, but ours also has been designed so that the newborn baby will have perfect of everything for growth. Because that period from birth till 1 year when you are breastfed is a very important period, because there's rapid growth at that time. So that is the first thing, that it has perfect nutrients for the body. There's also in the breast milk what we call immunoglobulins. These immunoglobulins are what fights infection for us. Nowadays, there's coronavirus and everybody's talking about your immune system. The breast milk has these immunoglobulins, especially in the first breast milk that comes out, that if you've observed, mothers know it, is yellow and creamy. It's called the colostrum. This colostrum is rich in the immunoglobulins, which goes to fight infection for the newborn baby. So unfortunately, in some cultures, this milk, the mother expresses and throws it away, which is really, really unfortunate. Because this is really what the baby should actually have. So that is one other benefit that it has immunoglobulins. Again, for the baby, this immunoglobulins that is in the first milk, of course, it's in the later milk that comes through. This protects the baby against common infections. In the first year, they have a lot of infections of the ear infections especially. They have a lot of diarrhea illnesses. All this protect them against this kind of illnesses. For the mother herself, breastfeeding, one thing that it does immediately, that it helps with attachment to the baby. Because as you breastfeed, you look at the baby looks at you, because that's how far they can see.
So that attachment
is there with breastfeeding, which is really important. You can't get that if you are giving formula. You get that with breastfeeding. There's also other benefits to the mother, like it helps the mother to, her hormones to, like, come, in the simple term, come back to the level before pregnancy. Because during pregnancy, a lot of hormones are produced and a lot of changes go on. But with you breastfeeding, all these hormones sort of normalizes perfectly. It also, as we know, is also a natural form of contraception
Okay.
for the mother, because again, based on the hormones and other things that goes on, when the mother is breastfeeding, naturally they don't conceive.
Okay.
Okay.
So that means that during the breastfeeding stage, the child gains and the mother gains as well.
Everybody gains.
So, but doctor, I mean, in this age of ours, today, you'll find a lot of young ladies who, you know, because they wouldn't want their breast to fall down, they said that they would rather look for alternatives, you know, to breastfeed the children. So they buy milk and other substances, and they give it to these children instead of giving the children their breast milk, because they say they don't want their breast to fall. Now, what advice do you have for such?
Yes, it's just unfortunate. I mean, from what I just said, these are just a few benefits that I've said.
Right.
From what I've just said, it's unfortunate that they'll take such decisions,
Right.
because one thing about the breast milk that is cheap.
Right.
You know, you don't spend any extra money.
Money to get it.
To get it. And all the money you spend on the formula,
Right.
you could save it for something else.
That's true.
We also know that the breast milk, when you breastfeed, for the woman especially, it protects you against certain kind of even cancers.
Okay.
We know for sure, studies have shown that it protects against ovarian cancer. So if because your breast will fall or something will happen to your breast, you don't want to get the benefit of protecting yourself against breast cancer,
Okay.
then, I mean, it's unfortunate.
Thank you very much, Doctor. We're so grateful to you. Rabbi Saib, coming back to Islam, what are the emphasis that Islam lays down as far as the taking of breast milk is concerned? I mean, from the Holy Quran, from the Hadith?
Yet again, we are always left with two things anytime something of Islam comes up. That is the Holy Quran and what the Prophet says and what he did. You know, in the Holy Quran, Allah has instructed us that when you give birth, that is in chapter 2, verse 234.
Okay.
Yeah, that one, the weaning, the birth of a child and the weaning should take 2 years.
2 years.
So if you look at this, scientists will tell you why. But some of the reasons are what the doctor have just mentioned, that unwanted pregnancies and saving of cancers and those things. But you won't see those things in the Holy Quran. The Quran will only give you a step which you need to move ahead of, which the scientists are talking about.
So the Quran does not speak to the specificities as Doctor is enumerating.
Yes, but
it just make a general observation.
It's better you do childbirth and weaning should be 2 years.
Okay.
And you see, if as they've taken the milk as a wholesome food, I believe in future, or maybe, I don't know, I'm not privy to it.
Okay.
I don't know what the recommendation of scientists will be.
Okay.
Whether it will also fall in line with what Allah have instructed us with respect to this chapter 2 of the Holy Quran, the verse that we are talking about.
Okay.
In chapter 23, verse 22 of the Holy Quran too, Allah has said about the same milk that He has put لَكُمْ فِيهَا مَنَافِعُ كَثِيرًا مِنْهَا تَأْكُلُونَ, that He has kept a lot of benefits, and of them also we eat.
Okay.
So these benefits that Allah has spoken about, what are they? What are they? This is the first question that anybody will ask someone who reads these verses to you. So what are those things that Allah have said that they are benefit to us? It's not far from us. We are lucky enough in this program that the doctor has been able to tell us already that yes, A, B, C, D are the benefits of the milk that Allah provides in the animals. The Prophet ﷺ says that there are 3 things that we should not reject.
Okay.
And these 3 things he said we shouldn't reject are gifts that somebody might give to you. And they are, he says, perfume. And second one is cushions.
Okay.
And then the third one is milk.
Okay.
And this is narrated by Abdullah bin Omar.
Well,
Milk has come again because of its
That
benefits.
emphasize
Yes,
the
it benefits to
significance.
mankind.
Okay.
You see, in talking about this verse, one of our Muslim scholars says that it's based on the benefits of milk that the Prophet commands us that we shouldn't reject it as a gift.
Okay.
And these benefits he talks includes that it builds strong bones and teeth.
Okay.
It promotes the growth and healthy muscles in human beings.
Okay.
Improves skin complexions in human beings,
Okay.
and so much more. So these people were not also scientists. They are religious leaders. But they go in from what the Prophet have said,
Right.
and then they travel as much as they can to see how far their knowledge will be beneficial to mankind. So there are a lot of benefits with respect to what...
Thank you very much, Professor. We're so grateful to you. Dr. Robbie just made mention, we have about 3 or 2 minutes left, and Robbie made mention that from the Holy Quran, the breastfeeding of the child should take about 2 years. Is there a confirmation for this from the scientific point of view? You have to be snappy so that we can...
Absolutely, there's confirmation. Okay. And when you go to the WHO, the World Health Organization website right now, it is there that we recommend that babies are exclusively breastfed for 6 months.
Okay.
And up to 2 years.
Okay.
Yes. So exclusive breastfed means you don't give anything, even don't give water.
To the child? Don't
even give water, because the breast milk, because it's a perfect balance, it has enough water.
Okay.
That you don't have to give any extra water to the baby.
Okay.
Then at 6 months, after 6 months, you need to start introducing the baby to other solid foods, because at the end they will eat.
Okay.
But the WHO says if you can, go up to 2 years because of the nutritional value.
Okay.
If you cannot, at least it should be for a year. Then after that, you transition to other milk, so cow's milk, because of the nutrition values. Some of them already said, especially calcium for the bone growth, because children are growing rapidly. They need the calcium and other nutrients in milk.
Thank you. Thank you very much. The program has been very interesting, and I pray we will have a second part of this program so that we can delve so much into other things that our viewers would need to know. Unfortunately, viewers, we're far behind time, and this is where we'll draw the curtains for today's program. And so until I come your way again, I say to you, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May the peace and blessings of Allah be upon you.